What's going on, everybody? So by now you should know that ESPN anchor, Stuart Scott died early, January 4th, 2015, after a long battle with cancer. And, for those guys that are new to my channel and the things that I do, we have a lot of fun here, but in all actuality, from time to time I try to get a little realistic with you guys and make you guys understand the value of life. Here's a man that just left behind 2 daughters. And the only reason that he fought the cancer so long was because of his 2 daughters. And I could understand what he's dealing with because, me, I have 2 daughters. And it's just like, as a dad, and I'm talking about like a real dad, a father that's around, you never want to leave those little girls too young. You don't ever want to leave them at all. But, when you realize that this man has been fighting something for so long and, the pain, sometimes it's just better that, that the pain stops. He went through a lot, man. And, he's one of the main reasons that I really started watching ESPN, because he was the kind of guy for me that changed it. Before him, it was just like, quirky Caucasian dudes, a couple Middle Eastern dudes. Like, there was no flavor to it. He made it okay to talk like, what I'm saying, a little bit of slang and stuff like that. And he didn't really overdo it like a lot of people do. He was just a cool dude, man. He was featured in a lot of rapper songs because he was that guy. As far as ESPN goes, as far as telling the news the way it was, he changed it for me. And I'll always appreciate that, from him. Very unfortunate that he died at 49. But, that's the way it goes sometimes. And that's why I try to tell people, man, it's always best to just have as much fun as you can and just, enjoy your life. Because, at the end of the day, man, you got a limited time here. And that's good. That's what it's all, that's it. That's what it's all about. So that's why I tell people, man, it's not about, who you know, what you do, how it is. It's about who you keep around you. Who you're able to enjoy those days with. Because, bro, all of us could just wake up one day and the people that we love the most are gone. And I grew up around a lot of stuff like that, man. You grow up around, you lose people, dear friends, regardless of what the situation was. I wasn't, Mr. Honest guy growing up and stuff like that. So I lost a lot of my friends to a lot of bullshit. But, they remain in my heart. And, you go on. But when you see these type of stories, man, where there's a disease that just eats you alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, cancer is such a dangerous and ridiculous thing, man. And it takes everything from you, but it takes a special person to acknowledge the fact that, cancer doesn't define them. And his speech at the ESPYs was very, very, heartfelt. And you kind of knew that it was going to be, probably his last speech that he would give. And, it's just something where you just go back and you just think about, Jimmy V and not giving up the fight. It's just something that, you take the body, bro, but you didn't take the man's soul. You know what I'm saying? You didn't take his heart. The kids will always know that their dad fought for them, and that's a big deal for any other man that's going to be in their lives. They don't want a dude that's not going to be a fighter, because to fight something that's killing you day to day is something that people don't really understand. I've had family members that I lost to cancer, similar to a lot of people that are probably watching this video. It's not an easy thing to go through. So when you know that just being alive is a challenge every day, it's not a game anymore. And when you realize that as a human being that we're all susceptible, we all breathe the same air, rich, poor, middle class, whatever it is, you start to realize like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be such a douchebag. But at the same time, you have to set boundaries for yourself and know who you want to allow within your circle, because some people have no care for the the actual normalities of life and the way they should carry themselves, and those are the people you should avoid. But Stuart Scott, you definitely will be missed. It's just like, I even had to listen to that Lil Wayne Carter 3 when he said what he said, like he got game like, what is, no not game like EA, he's like fresh, just like Stuart Scott, fresh up the ESPN slot or something like that. I don't know. Lil Wayne was probably high on crack when he made the track. I don't remember, but it's the Carter 3 in the intro. I had to go listen to it earlier. And pretty much just try to embellish the fact that, this guy really meant something to a lot of people. I did actually find out that he had that drooping eye, though, from a New York Jets training shoot, like from training camp, where a football hit him in the eye. And I was just really upset about that whole fact, that out of every team that could have gave him a droopy eye, it had to be the shitty-ass New York Jets. But, other than that, man, it's just realizing where we are today and knowing, like, it's amazing, when it's time to go, it's your time to go. But it makes you think about a lot of the different things. Like, Like Magic Johnson looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, and he's been diagnosed with HIV for like 19,000 years. So I think at some point, you know, cancer's taken so many of pretty high, you know, Steve Jobs, like, you know, Jimmy V, like high profile individuals, people that I can't even, you know, mention right now. The list is so long, and it just doesn't seem to be a lot of progress with the research and the stuff that these people are doing. And I'm not saying that people aren't working hard. I'm just saying that it needs to be more of an interest in actual factual evidence of what actually helps cancer. And one of the #1 things is your diet. And you know, doctors and everybody like that, they won't really talk to you about that. But usually it's based on your diet and the foods that you're eating and the stuff that you're intaking on a day-to-day basis that actually you know, impacts that. What is it, Banana Freely Girl? Is that her name? I don't know if it's Banana Freely Girl or something like that. That she has a lot of videos on that. And as far as, you know, being a vegan and understanding that certain things don't happen the same way when you don't ingest a lot of meat and you know, different things that are processed the way that they are. It's just so many other things that influence the way your body functions. And, you know, Monsanto and all kind of crazy, you know, all kinds of weird shit. In the words of Captain Ron, it's just, you just start thinking about a lot of different things, and you know, you wonder like, yo, what is the last thing that you would want to do if it was your time to go? You know what I'm saying? Like with me, you know, growing up and understanding the value of your word and the value of what, you know, being a man is, you don't never want to leave somebody that you feel can't take care of themselves. And you know, his daughters were 15 and 19, and you still at that point, you know, when you're around as a dad, you don't want to go before you just don't, you don't want to leave your girls until you feel like, all right, you know what, they can handle it, can handle their biz. But it's funny because when you're a real father, it doesn't matter what the age is. You know, a man, you could be like, all right, you know what, bro, you an old mother, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, like, yo, bro, you a man, go stand on your own too. But your little girl, when you're a father throughout their lives, they're always your little girl. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how old they get. And that's the problem that usually sometimes holds them back and not make them as motivated and have that type of, you know what I'm saying, that perseverance and things like that, because sometimes the fathers overdo it. You know, in the speech that he gave, one of his daughters called him a tyrant because he's probably all over it, always trying to make sure, like, yo, you know, what that punk nigga doing right there, because we see it. You know, dads see it, especially me. Like, bro, I done been there and done that. So I know, you know, what dudes is trying to run the game, you know, all that kind of stuff that happens. And, you know, just looking at the whole situation and understanding everything that transpires and knowing that if I'm going to leave this earth right now, you know what I'm saying? I just got to make sure that, you know, that they're going to be all right. But you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. No matter how you prepare them, you still don't feel like they're going to be safe. Like right now, you know what I'm saying? Me being who I am, there's a lot of dudes that, you know, they understand like it's certain things that can't go on. But when you're not here no more, dudes get reckless, man. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know you don't know. It just has to be an impossible feeling to know that you're going to leave. And those are the things that you value the most, and you'll never see them again. And that's the one thing that we don't know as men, is what rests on the other side. You could believe whatever you want. You could believe, you know, sidekicks and things like that. You don't know what's on the other side. All we know is that life goes on. You know, today is going to be January 5th, 2015, so on and so forth. And every day is going to be somebody else's struggle. And you got to go forward with it. But it doesn't mean that we can't appreciate what people meant to us and, you know, show respect for it. And, you know, this man, like, I don't really give a fuck about a lot of people. Like, you know, as far as celebrity-wise, people you don't know, I never met him. I don't know anything about him. But it just felt like I knew him. You know, when you get that kind of relationship and he changes it, he makes it something that you want to listen to. Something that influences you to know that you can do it a different way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the same guy. And that's why I've never been ordinary. So, you know, in this whole situation of how it happens right now in this game of life, you got to be smart about how we play it. Be careful of who you screw over. Be careful of who you love. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. Be careful of who you keep around you. and just cherish those moments with the ones that you care about the most, and do your best. You know what I'm saying? Being a father, being a friend, a husband, a wife, you know, whatever you are to someone else, do your best at being the best you can be at that position and play your role. Because at the end of the day, it's all titles if you don't show true love. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? We lost another guy. We didn't have to lose. But you know what? Life goes on and his memory won't be forgotten. And it's definitely appreciated what you did for me and everybody else. You'll be missed, Stuart Scott, man. Rest in peace forever. One love.